Hello, people of the internet, and we just got probably the biggest news ever in regards to the FNaF movies. And that's the report that even after the third FNaF movie, which we do know is in pre-production, that third movie will not be the end of FNaF films. So if you're excited for that news, scroll down, tickle that subscribe button. But before we get to that massive story, we got a few other FNaF news to take a look at. And first up is some brand new merchandise from Hot Topic. As you can see, they've released some Into the Pit themed items, including a beanie as well as a t-shirt featuring Freddy. A little weird they went with Freddy and not Spring Bonnie, though luckily this other Into the Pit shirt from Hot Topic has us covered. And then we also saw the release of a Springtrap plushie backpack. And if these plush backpacks are your thing, they've also released a plush backpack of the Cupcake as well as Monty. The Cupcake looks perfect. Monty, I feel like he's seen better days. And then for some other Into the Pit merchandise, we had CreatorInk release a few t-shirts based on the game. First up is Bonnie jumping into a ball pit, and then we have a Bonnie themed arcade machine. And CreatorInk also released some posters featuring Springtrap, Freddy, Nightmare Fredbear, and Nightmare Bonnie, with these 4 posters being a part of their art series collection, and these go so freaking hard. And next up we have Lumen, previously titled Theoryware by the Theorist Channels. They've released a brand new collection of FNaF merchandise celebrating the 10th anniversary of the franchise. They've got some really cool items of clothing here, the reversible fleece with Fredbear and Nightmare. You got a very menacing t-shirt of Scrap Baby, and then also for the 2 Yendo fans out there, you have a full-blown sweater. And then we got a whole bunch of miscellaneous merchandise FNaF news that I've kind of just been collecting over the past month or two. So quickly going through those, Kidrobot has acquired the FNaF license, and with their newfound license, they have released a 4-foot tall plushie of Freddy that costs $400. Now listen, I love Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's as much as the next guy, but $100 per foot? Though if you do want to pick up this incredibly massive plushie, he's expected to ship out in Q2 of next year. We also had Just Toys release some brand new plushie keychains of the original FNaF 1 crew. In the mystery boxes, you can get Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. And then from Trends International, they released a booklet of Help Wanted 2 stickers. As you can see here, it's just a whole bunch of renders of the characters from the game. And we've talked about this, but their brand new Help Wanted 2 2025 calendar is also available. Look, it's the Trends International website. I found all those items at Five Below, and also while you're there, you might want to pick up this brand new Freddy Fazbear AirPod case. And this guy certainly looks interesting. This is from Culturefly, also found at Five Below. I'm not sure if I'd trust Freddy holding on to my personal belongings. And then lastly, for kind of miscellaneous FNaF news, FYE has released a brand new surprise flavored chocolate bar. It has been a good while since FYE last put out some FNaF chocolate bars, and these ones, are expired. So I need to get my hands on this brand new surprise flavor chocolate bar, and I will be trying it for you guys in a brand new YouTube short pretty soon. And now let's move on to Youtooz, because they've released a brand new Five Nights at Freddy's 3 figures wave, featuring Phantom Freddy, Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, Springtrapped Afton, and everyone's favorite Watermelon Chica. You can also choose to purchase pins of these figures. And then Youtooz has also released 2 plushies of Grim Foxy, as well as Shadow Mangle from Curse of Dreadbear. And finally, for Youtooz news, it seems like their next FNaF wave will be a second wave of FNaF movie products. Previously, we've seen a Balloon Boy figure. We do know that there are going to be 3 figures included in the wave. MatPat, likely as Ness, will make an appearance in this wave, though it's unclear if he's going to be a figure or if they have plushies in this wave. But we did find out what another figure is going to be in a recent teaser from Youtooz, and that is Golden Freddy. You can make out his silhouette, his broken eye, his broken ear. I'm not sure what's going on with his arm. So I'd love to know, what are your thoughts on the lineup for this second FNaF movie wave from Youtooz? Are you sad that some characters got snubbed? And very quickly, let's talk about Dawko's FNaF show. He's released 2 brand new episodes, one with Pipper Rubio, the actress of Abby in the FNaF film, and episode 4 was an interview with Kellen Goff, the voice actor for, goddamn, just so many FNaF characters. I listed them all out in my tweet, and I started to run out of breath by typing. I didn't even know you could do that. And then lastly, before we move on to some FNaF movie news, we got some port updates in regards to various FNaF games. First up, you may have seen, but Help Wanted 2 is now available on the Nintendo Switch. We streamed it here on the channel. It's a pretty good port. It's got some interesting controls that I was kind of struggling with, but the addition of gyro support with the Joy-Con certainly made this game a lot easier to play. And then Megacat Studios Studios has also announced that PlayStation Cross-Buy is now live for FNaF Into the Pit, so players who purchase the game on either PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 will now be able to play it seamlessly on both platforms at no additional cost. Alright, and now let's talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, starting off with some interviews with Matthew Lillard about the upcoming sequel film, because recently in an interview with Cinema Blend, he described the FNaF 2 movie as improved and expanded when compared to the first film.
What is the vaguest way you can tease the next movie that'll rile up the diehard fans?
Yeah, improved. I think Scott really cares deeply about what fans think. And I think that we answered so many of the lore questions in the first film that I think he's taking that and just going, he's just expanding. I mean, I think the movie, maybe that's my word. Maybe my word is expanded. I think fans are going to lose their mind with this film. I think they're going to be so excited.
And then Matthew Lillard also talked a bit about the lore of the second movie.
Well, the good news is that we're pulling off a long legacy of games here, and creator Scott has a very clear sense of the stories he wants to tell. I think that, you know, a lot of movies are left to their own devices. Like, you know, they're made from whole cloth. The story can go anywhere. But we have a Bible here to pay attention to and follow. And so I think that it's important to Scott that he sort of fills in a lot of the lore questions that live in this community, and keep giving the fans of the community what they want, which is, you know, the hows and whys and everything in between.
And then lastly, for the second FNaF movie, we've got to talk about Markiplier, because if you remember, Mark was supposed to play the night guard at the start of the first film. However, there were some scheduling conflicts because Markiplier was filming and directing his own movie, Iron Lung, so unfortunately he couldn't star in the first film, though Scott Cawthon has said if they were fortunate enough to make a second film, which we now know they were, that he would love to try to get Mark into this movie. A lot of FNaF fans have been anticipating the announcement that Markiplier would be in the second film. However, this is what he had to say about his casting in a recent live stream.
I'll tell you straight up, I haven't received a call, a text, an email. I haven't received a nudge. No one on Kakao Talk has messaged me about the FNaF movie. I know nothing. They have not reached out to me. I'm not going to be in it because they haven't even talked to me about it. That's a lie. Look, man, I would tell you. Look, if I had the script in front of me, like when I made that joke last time that I would read the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 script, I would do it. I would do it right now. I would do it right now, but I don't have it.
And just like the first time around when he said he wasn't going to be in the first movie, a lot of people are speculating he might be lying here, or at the very least, he's under an NDA, so he can't even say if he was going to be in the movie. Turns out that's what happened with MatPat for the first FNaF film. All the time on GT Live, he said that he was not going to be in the FNaF movie, though it turns out day one of filming, he was shooting his cameo scenes. Now, personally, I'm taking Mark at his word here. It does seem believable that they haven't reached out to him just yet. I feel like a comment as specific as that, I do believe a bit more than if he just said, guys, I'm not going to be in it this time, I swears. Though it is always possible he has to lie and say he's not in it because he's under an NDA and can't talk about it. All I know is that it seems like we're in for yet another year of Markiplier says he's not in the film, oh, but he could be lying. But that's everything in regards to FNaF 2, and as I mentioned at the start of the video, we do know that a third FNaF movie is in pre-production. We got that report recently from Daniel RPK, a reliable leaker, especially for these FNaF films. We've known even before the release of the first movie that Matthew Lillard signed on for 3 films total, and Scott has said in the past that ideally they would do 3 movies based on the first 3 FNaF games. So we've known for quite a while that a FNaF trilogy was the main goal going into these movies, but it looks like thanks to the already massive success of these films, we've heard from Daniel once again that they are now planning to go, quote, beyond a trilogy for movies. And actually, I was quite surprised to see a bit of a mixed reaction to this report. A lot of people getting concerned that they might release too many movies, and that they'd only be releasing more and more movies to further milk the franchise. And honestly, I mean, we've heard that exact concern from Scott in Daco's interview with him.
Fazbear Fright's ever being like a TV show like Goosebumps, where it's like a series of some of the best stories or something adapted.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's something that can definitely happen, especially now that the first movie came out and was successful. I think that really opens the door to lots of other potential opportunities. The only thing to be mindful of is I don't want to oversaturate the market and just create too much. And I think that sometimes we get a little bit of that where franchises have movies and too many TV shows, and it just kind of waters everything down. But I really do like that idea, and it is definitely something that could happen for sure.
With that answer coming from a question in regards to a Fazbear Frights TV show, likely for streaming services, which Scott did seem open to the idea of, and we've heard in the past, once again from Daniel, that Blumhouse and Universal are interested in doing spin-offs for the franchise. So it's really just a question of how big is the Freddy cinematic universe going to get? Are we going to get these first 3 movies, a Fazbear Fright TV show, more movies, as well as spin-off films? I mean, that's a lot of projects. Though, of course, there were a lot of FNAF fans jumping with joy at the thought of a movie based on Sister Location, Security Breach, or Pizza Sim. And honestly, I don't blame them. How incredible would it be to see Funtime Freddy up on the big screen? How incredible would it be to see Sweet Roxanne up on the big screen? How would it be to see Scrap Trap up on the big screen, you know? All I know is that if these reports of Beyond a Trilogy and spin-off films are true, I just want them to be made with the same care as the first trilogy, you know? Again, based on Daco's interview, it seems that Scott is very well aware not to oversaturate the market with a bunch of FNAF films and shows. So while I am thrilled at the thought of even more FNAF films past this first trilogy, I am cautiously optimistic. I do trust and have faith in Scott and the crew that they will take proper care of these films. I just hope it doesn't become too much, you know? But at the end of the day, it really comes down, what do you guys think about this report? Are you excited for more FNAF films? What game or book would you want to see adapted? That's gonna do it for this FNAF news video. I'm recording this quite late at night, so I apologize if the lighting and overall resolution is quite crap. I apologize. But hopefully you enjoyed this video nonetheless, and I'll see you all on the flip side, and goodbye.